and welcome to another diary log. So, last year I did the same thing. I did a kind of like an end of year video, like the lessons I learned, what kind of happened, kind of like wrapping up the year that's just gone by. So, 2018, if you've actually listened to the tarot reading that I just uploaded today, which is kind of like the same sort of thing, but through them. But this is just a bit more for me personally. So 2018, if you've been following me, you know it's been a year of kind of ups and downs, successes and losses and change and major realizations. And these realizations have been very much the people around me, but also just my own personal knowing myself. Like last year, 2017, I feel like it was like the beginning. And things were thrown at me, but I was like in my newbie kind of energy, and it was overwhelming this year, but in the way it was hitting me in 2017 was a bit different. I was being challenged, but I still hadn't delved deep enough into myself to be able to handle those challenges as successfully as I've handled them this year. Because when things have been thrown at me this year, it surprised me how I've actually been able to manifest these things into my reality and do a good job. It's more to do with like, hey, I'm actually smart. I'm actually can produce, I feel like I actually am a good actor and things like that. Like I feel good at my job, at what I'm doing, and I'm seeing successes in that. And that's what I wasn't seeing in 2017. Like I was achieving still and I was doing stuff, but it wasn't coming directly from like my core authentic self. So with this year, it's been majorly, just feels like delayering, like getting through the crap kind of thing. And now, like, I still feel pretty raw with everything I've kind of been through. But for 2019, with what's coming and what I'm preparing for, it had to kind of be this way, like to be able to, for me, to have the confidence in myself to be able to achieve what I plan to, because we really have laid like a solid foundation with everything we've done for 2019, and 2018 was kind of like preparing kind of year, getting rid of the crap kind of year, and really getting to know ourselves. And it's really funny though, because the thing that I've really noticed this year is since I've been a lot more open with what's been happening with me, especially when I'm going through my challenges, because I used to just deal with it myself and not talk about it, even with family members. Like the only time that family would really know about it is with like, hence my brother. He just doesn't stop until he gets what he wants. So he would just keep saying like, Tanya, I know something's wrong, I can hear it in your voice. Like I think one time actually this year, because I'm still learning it to like, seeking out help, and I've gotten definitely so much better than I used to be. But I literally just said hello and Cam's like, what's wrong? Your voice is funny. And I'm like, how can you already tell? Like I've just said hello. But it's good that he notices that, because when it's most raw is when you can really be most honest, because you haven't actually developed layers over the hurt that you have to delve through to kind of get back to it, if that sort of makes sense. But yeah, my brother's really good at that. Another actually, I think, if I have to put it down to like the biggest thing I've learned in 2018, that it's okay to be myself. I've really gotten to know myself, and I've actually expressed myself to everyone in the world around me. Like people would say to me like, Tanya, you've always been open, but there's like a tiny persona that I used to put on, and that's a hard thing to admit, because it's just like, no, I've always been authentic. I feel like I really haven't learned my true authenticity till this year, and it's still a work in progress. Like there's still places within me that I still need to reach and overcome. But with what I've achieved this year, I'm very happy with where I'm at. Like, and I didn't honestly think so a few weeks ago that I could actually be in this place now, because I'm just about to head back to mum and dad's, and I'm like, yes, being looked after, Christmas, I don't have to make my own food. Like, that's really cool. And also, since I started doing that, since I started like opening up and saying, what I'm into, like, yoga, meditation, spirituality, manifestations, and all that kind of jazz, like, I've been attracting those people to me. And it's the weirdest thing, because like nearly everyone in the Taft office, not everybody, but a lot of like the new people that have come in this year, they're really into that sort of thing. And I'm just like, how has this happened? I'm like, this used to be so different in this place. And now, like, even in my other world, like, my outer world outside of Tafta, like, I'm attracting those type of people too, because I've been expressing that. since I've been expressing that, I've been attracting that back to me. So as soon as you start expressing your authenticity, what you believe in, your values, what your juices are kind of thing, you actually do attract people to you with that. And another epiphany, this is going to be the last one I'm going to leave you with. Like, I've always understood this with manifestation, but you know when you thought you understood something and you thought you knew how to do it, but then someone says it in some different way and it just clicks like that. So I was watching Oprah, because I watch a lot of spiritual leaders, and it was so interesting. It was actually about like one of these new movies that she's like just released, and they're having an interview with her. And the interviewer was saying like, I've manifested this because I've been dreaming about talking with you and just, you know, being in your presence. And, you know, Oprah like, you know, gave her a hug and all that stuff. And she's like, oh, I want to talk about manifestation. And that's what Oprah's just like, I don't need to do like a vision board anymore, because she's like, I've gotten really good at manifesting. And what she says is, and this has just really taught me about where I was going wrong with it. So with manifestation, it's you do the work, you put it out there. And once you put it out there, your little package, you let it go, surrender, don't think about it. Don't think about it, don't do anything else. You've put it out there, now it's time to focus on other things around it. And with manifestation, I've learned recently that that's the way to do it, but I used to just be like, oh my God, I've got to keep focusing on manifesting, I've got to keep focusing on this thing, I've got to keep at it, keep at it, keep at it. That's when you get tunnel vision and you miss the opportunities around you. So what you do is, once you let it go, you focus on things around it and other things that could actually help it. So the example, I can sort of give this example without giving too much away, because this recently has happened and that's what's actually made me really believe in that this is the way to do it. So for example, we've released something, we've actually put something out there. And what we were doing was we were focusing so heavily on it, and when nothing was happening there, we were just getting so frustrated. And when Oprah said that, I was just like, oh, that's where we're going wrong. We put the package out there, we put it out there, but we kept focusing on it and we're missing other things that we could have done around it to help it. And we've recently sought somebody else out, and I'm actually thinking this person is actually what's going to make that package come to life. Like, we needed that person in order to manifest that thing we've already put out there. So to kind of put it all together, once you put something out there, it may not be ready to manifest yet. Maybe you've got the package out there, which is great, but maybe there's a few other people around it that you need to still gather that help it manifest and come to life. Whereas if you're just focusing on that one little package you've put out there, tunnel vision, just focusing on that and nothing else, it's not going to manifest in the way you'd like. And you may need these other people around it to actually help it manifest and grow. Because there's opportunities that are continually happening around what you want to manifest. So it's just, hopefully that kind of makes sense, because when Oprah said that, it just like, oh my God, that makes sense now. When that happened, you know, the thing that happened that I can't say yet, I was just like, okay, now this happened within like a space of like 2 days. I'm just like, oh my God, this is like a major epiphany. I'm like, this is where I've been going wrong with it. Like, oh my God, like this is crazy. So this is how I'm really doing my manifesting right now. And it's something like I've already seen it work, so I do know that it works. And Oprah, like, look at Oprah, of course it works. But that's the thing, you put it out there, you get the package together, you get the professionalism with it, you do that, you put it out there. Then the hardest thing, I know this is like surrendering, I know it's just like, well, but I've got to keep trying, I've got to keep acting. You can act around it, you can do things that help that manifest. So for example, you're a writer and you're seeking a publisher. You could continue writing into the second book, you could continue planning, or you could send it to other publishers, because you're not just going to rely on that one publisher. I know they say this because Mum says they hate it when you send it to other people, but I'm like, Mum, they could have it for 8 months, which has happened to Mum. This one publishing company, which just gets so angry at, they had it for like, I think it was even more than 8 months, I think it was only 12 months. And Mum hadn't applied to anybody else because there was this thing like, no, we don't like it when you put it to other publishers. And they didn't publish it. So that's like nearly 12 months down the track. That's putting all your eggs in one basket and wishing them, just tunnel vision, just like it's just going to be them. They've had it for 6 months, it must be them, so I'm not going to do anything else because it's going to be them. That's tunnel vision, and that's not manifestation, that's desperation. That's what Tiny's learned. So what you do is you set it out there, you put it out there, and then you just let it go. Let it happen, because you get in the way of things manifesting when you get that tunnel vision and you get the wrong energy on the project. I feel like this almost happens with everything. When you put something out there like your creation, I feel like there's always more things to do around it to help it do the final blooming. So this is something that I've massively learned about manifesting this year. So same thing with what I'm doing with Canada. I'm currently waiting to be invited to actually do the last application. So the first thing was I was in the pool, but then there was this application that I had to do, and now like they've got it, the immigration people, and then I have to be invited by them. And then I send through the final documents, the final like attachments and everything. And then I think after that, that's when I get the approval. So that's the stage I'm at with Canada. And this is the same thing I'm doing in Canada. Like I'm doing the research, I'm applying, I'm doing the whole visa thing, but I'm not getting tunnel vision on how I want to manifest over there. So I've got an idea of what I want to do, especially with acting and all that stuff. I've got an idea and I've got like a little plan there, but also I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. I'm not going to get tunnel vision like it's just going to be this, it's just going to be this way. I'm just going to focus directly on this and that's what's going to happen. No. When I put something out there, it's like if I go to an audition. When I go to an audition, because you hear about these stories so many times, many people go to the audition and then they leave and then they don't even think about it. Then 4 months later they get the role and they're like, oh, I forgot about that audition. Like it's the same sort of thing with manifesting, because you haven't, like you're not continually calling your agent going like, did I get that role? Did I get that role? Where am I at? Where am I at? Like that's desperation. That's not the energy around your manifestation, and that blocks it from blossoming. So big thing I learnt with that, but there was a lot of, I'd say a lot of new beginnings in 2018. And it's funny because new beginnings really do the big ones. They really do come from painful experiences, and experiences that have to almost hurt you so much for you to change, because we will do anything we can to escape pain. And there's 2 ways to escape pain, and that one way is distracting yourself, and the other way is by looking at it and dealing with it. So this year has been really with me. Like obviously there's a bit of a dance, but I've worked so hard on working through that and finding where the source of that pain is. And then it's actually helped new beginnings from that, which is kind of, like it's not nice, but the thing is, once you're out of that painful explosion of stuff that's happening and like it's like almost like a little fog around you, you go and like, oh, that's why it happened. Like this is why I needed to learn that. So to anyone else, 2018, like I'm glad to see you go. I'm glad to see you go, and I'm really looking forward to 2019. So excited with it. And to all you guys who've been supporting me on my channel this year, I cannot express to you how thankful and grateful that I am to you. You guys are the reason why I do this. If I can help just one person, I say this all the time, it'll make my day. So there's a lot of, what do you call it, in the tool shed at the moment? Things that are happening, but it's just, I'm just so grateful like where I'm at in my journey right now, and everything that's actually, like even though there were painful experiences, I'm really grateful for them, because they're the reason why I'm sitting here now in this headspace and where I'm heading in 2019. So anyway guys, thank you so much. I hope you have a great Christmas and ready to kick off 2019, because 2019 is going to be epic. I can feel it already. So stay on this space and watch my journey to Canada. I'm going to continue vlogging about with my process, what I'm doing, and also just for my normal fitness routines, yoga and Pilates, and my tarot readings too. I also do phone readings online now and Skype readings if you like them too. So if you want a personal reading, I do those. Had my very first one, which is really exciting, a couple of weeks ago, and she's going to do a video testimonial on it. She was literally like, you're like ace this is like definitely what I needed. She's like, I had a good feeling about you with this, so which is really exciting, so I can't wait to put that online. But anyway guys, thank you so much. Just, you know, I love you. So thank you, and I'll see you in 2019.